Joining us now is Republican Senator Kevin Cramer of North Dakota, a member of the Armed Services Committee. Great to see you, Senator. I'm going to start by reacting to Cory Booker's comment there that the president has had a failure in his Iranian policy. If I had the opportunity to counter or ask Booker a question, I would ask him, did President Obama have such a great policy when it came to Iran, allowing them to basically develop nuclear weapons without placing sanctions, without having any repercussions to it? I'm curious what your thoughts are on that.
Yeah. Well, you ask a great question. Thanks for having me. And I would even go further and say, as a result of the failed Iran policy of the Obama administration, Iran was able to build up their conventional weapons systems. They were quicker than the pallets of cash got to them. An S-300 air defense system came from Russia to Iran. Really, Barack Obama licensed Iran in many ways. Now, it's a different philosophy. I don't think his intention was to do that. But they've been running around the Middle East, creating havoc all over the place. And by the way, now that we've established, thanks to all the Democrats running for president, he's a bad guy, let's further establish he's not just some guy that cut you off in traffic. I mean, they talk about him like he's the neighbor they don't like. Now, this is a really bad guy who's got the blood of hundreds of Americans on his hands, and thankfully, we have a president who stood up to him and did the right thing. The other question, by the way, since you're asking questions of Cory Booker and the other Democratic presidential candidates, one I'd want to ask them is, if you're sitting in the Oval Office, you get certain intelligence that there's an imminent attack on American personnel, and the person that's masterminding it and leading it, you know exactly where he is, and he's an available target. Are they telling all of us they wouldn't call to end it, to save the Americans? That's what they're saying to me, and thank God none of them is going to be president.
Thank you for saying that. You know, some of the criticism today as well from the Democrats was that, you know, the president didn't seek congressional approval for this attack. You know, sometimes there's just no time, and that's what the authority is for.
That's exactly right. That's why the president has that authority. We'll get answers to questions later, but this was not something that they could plan for weeks. When they knew where he was, he's within 15 miles of our own embassy in Baghdad, for crying out loud. We know what he's been doing, not only just over the long haul, but just recently in terms of masterminding attacks on Americans, including our embassy in Iraq. The president had, in my view, no choice. It would have been dereliction of duty had he not ordered the strike. And I'm just grateful that he did. And I'm grateful to the men and women in the intelligence community and the military community who once again have proven that they're the best in the world.
Senator Cramer, thank you. Thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you. My pleasure.